Call this meeting of the Upshur County Board of Education regular meeting to order. Could we proceed with roll call, please?
Yes, Jan Craig.
Here.
Sherry Dean.
Here.
Susan King. Here. William Parker.
Here.
Roy Wager.
Here.
I'm here. Elaine.
Here. Mr. Collette is the only one we're missing.
Yes.
Could we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Mr. Parker, would you lead us tonight?
Yes. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's going to be a night for the men. Mr. Wager, will you do the mission statement, please?
Yes, ma'am. Upshur County Schools is committed to creating a unified community for educational excellence.
Thank you, sir. You have before you the agenda. Are there any agenda adjustments?
No, ma'am. As presented this evening.
I would entertain a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
On the check register, just need to note, May is also included. There's some from April and May.
Thank you.
With that, I'll move to approve.
I'll second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Delegations, Mr. Nestor.
He's back.
Good evening. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Is the microphone on?
I don't know that it is. I don't think it is.
Okay, awesome. Well, it's good to be back. Back from spending the school year in Pittsburgh, getting my grandson on the bus and off the bus. So they're taking a break and we're taking a break. For a couple months. But just wanted to kind of give you a little update and to see you, all of you here. But I want to just give you an update on the Education Foundation. The most recent gifts that we were able to award or grant request was Rock Cave, where they had their wellness day. We helped fund that. Rock Cave, that was in place of the field day that they did in the past. So I think it worked out well. And the Educators Rising group that went to Florida, I guess, in a couple of weeks, and we were able to fund some of that. And one of the special parts of making those, of awarding those, is being there to present to the kids and see their reaction. And I think that's all the grant requests we made past. It's really been that way. So we continue to, get information, kind of see how we group and regroup, just like you folks do. We're not meeting this month. We're not going to meet next month because of the week of July 4th. We'll be meeting in August, and we really, if there's any requests that you have, any thoughts that you have, individually as a board, we'd really like to hear those. And I think one of the things we're looking at is trying to work within the county with different groups and the people involved is the possibility of working with Stocker Youth Center and maybe trying to fund some of the activities on a STEM center type location. We're meeting with the superintendent here in July to try to see how it coordinates with what we're doing within the system. We don't want to do anything outside the system that doesn't coordinate inside. So I think we're looking at that as a possibility, and we have some funds available through Stocker that may be able to be used for that. And our concern is just to educate our students as well as we can, and working together, and not to make sure it's not deemed as a criticism. We're just trying to help because every level needs some assistance out there. So appreciate the opportunity to speak to you folks, and good to be here. And any questions you have or anything you have any time, let us know. We're also was at the meeting last night here talking about all the booster groups and everything, what could be happening, and did not volunteer to do any of that. So, want to be aware of what's going on there. So, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you back.
Yeah.
Superintendent's update?
Well, Noah will be disappointed, but I don't have any data to share with you this evening. Because we're finalizing data with the state right now, so that they can go in and they can look at our test scores and they can determine who was a full academic year student with us, looking at our, all of those things in the accountability indexes, which includes the chronic absenteeism, our test scores from 3rd through 8th grade, as well as 11th grade SAT performance. They're also looking at on track to graduate, graduation rate, all of those things that go into telling us how are we growing our students and are we moving in the right direction. I think I kind of said at the last meeting that we are moving in the right direction. Preliminary results do show that. We still have work to do. We're not resting this week. We have teachers that are working on the rigorous curriculum design units, which is what they implement in their classrooms. So they're taking all the suggestions from last year and they're redoing those, and they're incorporating writing this year as we move into next year, because it kind of got lost when we stopped assessing it. So now it's coming back. So they're working on adding writing as part of the ELA curriculum back in to where it is more of a part of it and not extra. It is embedded and integrated, which it had become just a secondary part of. And I can tell you from previous experience and looking at data for many years, that is the one thing that causes great stress and failure at the collegiate level if students do not know how to write.
Yes.
So we really need to take a very serious look at this and make sure that we are preparing our students to be successful no matter what they choose to do when they leave high school. And that's all I have.
Board member committee meeting updates, Mr. Parker?
The Stockton Youth Center, their next meeting is July the 3rd, so I'll have a report at the July meeting.
Mrs. King, anything?
I gave mine last time, and Parks and Recreation doesn't meet again until next week.
Mr. Wager?
Fred Everly Council met this afternoon, and their preliminary data for all the goals that they had to do, they made all the standards, met every one of them, and 84% met, and I'm trying to think of the term, I couldn't.
Not tied.
Yeah, whatever that is, that term, which means they did a great job and had a lot of completers. On Saturday, this Saturday, at 9 a.m., starting at Fred Everly, they're having a motorcycle ride and car show to raise money for the students getting ready to go to the National Skills Contest. And that's June 23rd to the 27th. And this week they'll be starting on the parking lot out back, and hopefully that will only take a few days to do the paving. And then they'll be doing goal setting with Becky, Ms. Call, in July for this coming school year. And our next meeting is July 8th. That's it.
The library board will not meet this month, and probably won't meet until in the middle of July, because conferences and vacations and all of this, we won't have a quorum.
4-H Foundations does not meet at this time because of camps and other things going on. Okay, you have been provided with the minutes, policies, contracts,
We
agreements.
need to approve the minutes.
Do I have a motion to approve minutes? Yes, ma'am.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? On to policies.
Okay. You will notice this evening that we are starting the process that our bylaws say regarding policies. Tonight is the first reading of each of those, and what that simply means is on the agenda, we will be listing the policy number as well as the title, whether it is something that we are rescinding, revising, new, or it is new or a technical correction. You will notice that one of those that is on here is regarding the cell phone policy. We will be putting that out for public comment tomorrow. We are taking a very intentional rollout and are asking the public to please give their feedback on that. So that will appear on the website at some point tomorrow. We have already received some feedback. As you could well imagine, it's falling down on okay or no, that's not okay, and offering some ideas. So we are very much looking forward to that feedback. So at our first meeting in July, we will have a second reading, and then our second meeting in July, we would have the third reading and the acceptance of those. The cell phone policy actually is 5136, personal electronic devices replacement policy. So that one just came out in the nick of time to be able to put that on this agenda. Keeping moving, unless anybody has any questions about those.
Couple questions, comments.
Sure.
On 5320 immunization.
Yes,
The way I'm reading that is a medical exemption only.
correct.
All right. Just, I know the purchases is a technical correction, but in the future, I don't know how the state feels about this, but whenever the local board's back in control, in my opinion, we need to look at lowering the limits that do not require board approval. The way I read the policy, superintendent has approval up to $100,000, which is considerable.
Yes.
The only other thing, it's really not the policy, about animals still on school property, the therapy dogs.
Yes.
Do we have an agreement with the employee that look after the dog?
Yes.
Okay. I'd be interested in just seeing a copy of that sometime.
I have a quick question. Is that okay?
Yes.
The cell phone, you said, policy was the
5136.
And is that the policy that was from the state?
Yes, it is.
For the
It-
entire state?
It
for all
almost
counties?
mirrors exactly. The only thing that the state policy does not address is what are you going to do if a student is caught with a cell phone? So in the interest of understanding that that can happen, there is a progressive addressing of when they have it, depending on the programmatic level. Because as it currently stands, elementary kids, they shouldn't have it on them at all.
Right.
Middle school kids, it should be in the locker. High school kids can have it on them, but there are going to be the rules about it. So it's progressive in nature in addressing it. Okay, the next thing is the contract with Best Life Therapy. It also has attached to it the schedule, the fee schedule for services. We are still having a great deal of difficulty in locating certified folks in these various areas that are willing to come into the schools and work. As a school employee, this company is serving lots of counties right now and helping us be able to provide those services as they are outlined on our students' IEPs or individualized education plans. Do you have any questions about that contract? Okay. Hearing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda, which shows you the meeting dates. You will notice that we have scheduled 2 meetings per month. We will assess as we move through to see if those would be required at 2 a month. That's why it says subject to change and or cancellation. I wanted to put all these out there for you because if you're like me, you like to know in advance and you can get them on your calendars for the following school year. Once we, I do believe that on the West Virginia School Boards Association site, they've already posted all the meeting dates for next year as well, so that you all would be apprised of those. You know there's going to be a change in leadership there, and Dr. Howard O'Call will be stepping back in as the executive director until such time that the executive committee of the organization determines how they want to continue to move forward in securing someone to go into that role. Oh, that moves us on to financial. You have before you budget journal entries, the check register for both April and, as Mr. Parker pointed out, May, and then the monthly financial report. I will share that yesterday I said I went to school because Uriah spent a couple of hours with me yesterday afternoon. I had some questions about some reports that we get and how does that relate then to what you all see on a monthly basis. I then worked with Sarah today for a while. As you well know, the fiscal year closes June 30, and then they will work on making sure that all of the budget journal entries are there, everything is coded correctly, and so they can work on closing out those books, which they have to be done by a certain date. And then, of course, those financial statements would be shared, and then we would start looking on and working on moving things forward. Do you have any questions regarding anything with what is shared with us as far as those financials?
I do have 3 or 4 here.
Okay,
I made copies so I can leave those with you.
great.
On one, it's check number 99509, but for psychological evaluations or related testing.
Yes,
Names and date of birth are included on that invoice.
Of the child?
yes.
Yes,
Those invoices coming from the company?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's one that has no names on it, which probably should be whited out before it comes to us or to the public, my opinion, but.
Yeah,
And then also on the same one, public information, you know, the W-9 includes that individual's social security number on both of them. On Neola's 99619, the PO purchase order that attached is incorrect. It's for Superior Environmental. Correct purchase order, I understand why it happened, is 2024-00836.
yes.
The one that's attached is 2025-00836. Zonar Systems, 13,594.50, 99641 is the check number, but start of the agreement is March the 1st. The invoice was dated April the 30th, and that's when the purchase order was dated. And the other is just the why we're doing this. It's some grant funding. It's 99635. It's the ramp dinner at the public library. We purchased 4 tickets for some reason.
That was, the high school purchased those tickets, yes. For, oh my gosh. Names are just escaping me right now. It was used as an incentive of some kind for
Okay.
students.
That's all I had.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, hearing none, I'll move on to personnel. You have the list in front of you. It's much different than the one that you saw at the end of May, but do not let that scare you off or think that personnel isn't humming, because it is. We are still actively recruiting as well as interviewing and hiring folks in order to get in time for this board agenda. You can see that we had a couple of coaching resignations as well as an ECAT aide for summer school. We also have the unfortunate retirement on here of Mr. Bowman. He's going to retire in September, but he wanted to go ahead and get that in, so that would give us time to try to find a replacement, which is fabulous. We do like them early. Then when we get down to Part C with employment, you can see that we found a special education teacher, which is absolutely wonderful because we do need those. Also hiring a social studies teacher, music and art. I do believe that in July, that first meeting in July, this will be more full for you as far as hiring goes. In service, we hired a custodian here at the high school, And then we also have hired 2 substitute aides. We hired an assistant volleyball coach for BUMS, yes, excuse me. We have an extra duty service for summer school cook. We also have some summer paint crew hirings here. And then we had 3 transfers on the professional side, and we had 2 on the service side. Just a reminder that we are hiring 3rd grade ECATs. This is the last year that we add the ECATs in for the 3rd grade Success Act. So it's also going to bring about a change there. This will be the first year that retention at the 3rd grade level can become something that would need to be considered if students are not showing that they are on grade level at the end of 3rd grade. Mrs. Johnson is on a state committee. She's a county level stakeholder serving on what those guidelines and guidance coming from the department will be. So the ECAT aides are a very crucial piece to helping our students get to where we need them to be. We do have some donated days, as you can see here, and who they're to. And we're hopeful that the issues that our employees are experiencing right now will be resolved over summer without the additional stress of coming to work every day, and that they can return to us healthy and ready to go. Do you have any questions on personnel? Okay.
Future meetings.
We ever get any updates on the lawsuits?
We have not, but I can tell you that there are some depositions that are taking place this
Oh, okay.
week.
I was just.
Yeah, they asked if we could wait till July because they wanted to get through this deposition period, and then trying to determine in the one as well with Judge Clee.
Okay.
Future meetings are July 8th at 6 o'clock, and if needed, July 22nd at 6 o'clock. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Mrs. Dean,
Second.
Mrs. King. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned at 6:22.